Afternoon once again. My name is Margaret Onuachu, and I'm going to be your host for today. A very warm welcome to all our participants who are joining. I can see that the numbers are increasing by the seconds. Thank you very much for joining. Today, as I earlier said, we will be discussing how Nigerians are beating inflation through the stock market. This is an interesting topic. But before we start, I would like us to of these ground rules, right? Little housekeeping rules. Kindly stay muted until when we have the question and answer session. We will give you opportunity to speak, and also you can use the Q&A chat room to drop your questions, even in the course of the presentations. And our team, who are readily available, will take up these questions and respond to you. This is an interesting topic you don't want to miss out. So just give us time to help you and guide you through how Nigerians are beating inflation through the stock market. Nigerians are increasingly using the Nigerian stock market to edge against inflation. This discussion and many more are what you're going to be learning from today's session. Thank you very much. Right into it. I'll be introducing my speakers who are already on the call. I can see them. Our first speaker is Chukwudi Adubo. Adubo is the head of business development for Afrinvest Securities Limited. We also have Ambrose Udiaba, who is the head of brokerage services for Afrinvest Securities Limited. And we also have a senior analyst, Justice Oguipe, who will be taking us through the new developments that we have on the Afrinvestor 2.0 app, as well as our web version. This is going to be a very, very interesting session, and you don't want to miss it for anything. Lastly, to inform you that this session is recorded and will be shared to all our participants at the end of this presentation. Thank you very much. Hi, Adubo.
Hello, Margaret.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Margaret.
Yes, I can hear you clearly as well. Thank you very much. Please, you can begin.
Okay. Good afternoon, distinguished participants, colleagues, and partners in wealth creation. Thank you for connecting today to discuss a topic that has become very important in Nigeria's current economic reality. A few years ago, a Nigerian professional proudly told me he had saved 35 million in his bank account. He believed he was financially responsible, avoiding risk and saving consistently. Fast forward to a few years later, inflation had risen significantly, prices had doubled in many sectors, and the uncomfortable reality set in immediately. 35 million could no longer buy what it used to buy. While his bank account stayed the same, his purchasing power had quietly declined. This is the reality many Nigerians are facing today. In an economy where inflation is redefining the value of money, Nigerians are realizing that saving alone is no longer enough. The real question is no longer how much you save, but how intelligently you invest. And this is precisely where the stock market becomes not just an investment platform, but a powerful wealth preservation tool. Today, my colleagues and I will be sharing insights on how more Nigerians are moving beyond traditional savings and strategically leveraging the capital market to protect and grow their wealth. At the core of today's discussion is inflation. So let me begin by briefly examining what economists mean when we talk about inflation. This is often described as a silent tax on wealth because it gradually erodes the value of money over time. As a result, this is caused as a result of increase in the general price levels of goods and services. From a macroeconomic perspective, inflation affects consumption patterns, business operations, as well as the broader economy. Now, let's look at this critically. Purchasing power loss. For many Nigerians, this has become a daily reality. The cost of food, transportation, housing, and energy has increased significantly over the past few years. What this essentially means is that money sitting idle is quietly losing value. This is why more financially aware Nigerians are beginning to rethink traditional approaches to money management. Instead of simply saving, they are increasingly looking for ways to invest their capital in assets that have the potential to grow faster than inflation. And one of the most accessible platforms for achieving this is the stock market, where investors can participate in growth of profitable companies. Secondly, traditional savings often underperform. For decades, many individuals have relied primarily on traditional bank savings accounts as their primary financial strategy. While savings accounts provide safety and liquidity, they rarely provide returns that are sufficient to outpace inflation. This simply implies that when inflation rises faster than interest rates, savers are effectively losing in real terms. This is why globally, sophisticated investors rarely rely solely on savings accounts as their long-term wealth strategy. Lastly, prices outpace savings. We have all seen the evidence around us. Food prices have increased significantly, transportation costs have soared, and energy costs, has also risen. These increases are driven by several structural factors, supply chain pressures, and broader global inflationary trends. The implication is that households must now think beyond savings if they want to preserve their financial security. Before we proceed, it's important to draw a clear distinction between saving and investing. While these two terms are often used interchangeably, they serve very different purposes when it comes to preserving and growing wealth. Understanding the difference is critical for anyone seeking to navigate today's inflationary environment. Yes, savings protect money. Savings are equally essential for financial stability. They provide liquidity, emergency funds, and short-term financial security. When individuals save money in the bank, they prioritize safety and accessibility. This is extremely important for managing day-to-day financial needs or unexpected expenses. However, savings are designed primarily for capital preservation and not capital growth. In other words, savings help you protect wealth, but they rarely help you create wealth. For context, if inflation is at say 25% and your savings account generates 8 to 10% interest annually, the real return is negative. Such individuals are effectively losing about 15 to 17% in purchasing power. This essentially means that while your bank balance may appear to increase, the real value of your money is declining continuously. Now that we've examined the concept of savings, it is important to transition into the second part of this conversation, which is investing. While saving is essential for financial discipline and short-term liquidity, investing is what ultimately enables individuals and institutions to grow wealth and preserve purchasing power over time. In simple terms, saving is about storing money, but investing is about putting money into work. I believe at this point, we can see the major difference here. Savings protect your money while investing grows it. And one of the most effective ways to put money to work is through participation in the capital market. The capital market essentially provides a platform where businesses that require long-term funding can connect with investors who are seeking opportunities to grow their wealth. When an individual invests in the stock market, they are really doing or they are really acquiring ownership in productive enterprises, companies that generate revenue, companies that create jobs, expand their operations, and ultimately deliver profits. Investing in the stock market is particularly important in an inflationary environment. Unlike idle savings, companies listed on the exchange can adjust their price. They have the ability to grow revenue as well as expand their operations. As a result, their earnings can grow over time, which ultimately transforms or translates into value creation for shareholders. This is why globally, equity markets have historically been one of the most powerful engines of wealth creation. However, it is important to recognize that successfully investing in the capital market requires knowledge, discipline, and access to the right professional guidance. This is where institutions like Afrinvest play an important role within the financial ecosystem. At Afrinvest, we are committed to helping individuals and institutions navigate the complexities of the capital market through research-driven insights, professional advisory services, and access to a wide range of investment opportunities. Our role is to basically facilitate transactions, but to help investors make informed strategic decisions that align with their long-term financial goals. Today, I would like to leave everyone with these thoughts. When you invest wisely, your money begins to work for you. And when your money works for you, you unlock financial security. With the right knowledge, the right discipline, and Afrinvest as a partner, building wealth becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Udi, for that lovely presentation. I could already see that I have taken a few notes on some of the things that you have discussed today. Having to differentiate carefully the difference between savings and investment, and the benefits. No, a lot of investors just feel it's okay to save money at the bank, right? And not knowing that at the other way around, they are being charged for those monies. At the end of the month, you see different sorts of debits, maintenance charges, and all of that. And now I'm sure that they are well informed way to move the savings to. And the Nigerian stock market, which is what we are really dealing with today, it's that space where you can actually turn your savings into investments and also benefit from it, which is one of the things we're also going to be learning shortly from another of our speaker, Ambrose Udaba, who is going to be taking us on the benefits of investing. Now, in details, benefits of investing in the stock market. Hello, Ambrose.
Hello, Margaret. Good afternoon, participants. Thank you once again for joining this webinar. I'm going to take us through the benefit of investing in the stock market. But before I do that, let me dive a little bit into the history of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So the Nigerian Stock Exchange is a very essential infrastructure in the stock market. So we cannot talk about stock markets without mentioning the exchange. Here in Nigeria, we have the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which has played very vital role in ensuring that wealth are really distributed, among all the participants in the stock market. So the Nigerian Stock Exchange dated back 1960 under the name Lagos Stock Exchange. At the time, it was just had 19 listed securities. And then in 1977, that's 17 years later, it was renamed Nigerian Stock Exchange to reflect the national expansion. So as a country, it's important that the stock exchange reflects the name of the country. And that's what gave birth to Nigerian Stock Exchange. In 1999, the introduction of automated trading system, happened, and this actually improved trading efficiency. And then in 2000s, 2001 to 2010, and to where we are today, the market growth was driven mainly at that time by the banking sector recapitalization. So the banking sector was recapitalized, and that recapitalization took place just like what we experienced last year in the Nigerian stock market. Also, most Nigerian banks recapitalized last year, 2025, and that recapitalization event or activities happens via the stock exchange. What the benefit of that to the stock exchange was increased investor participation. So we saw the number of investors that participate through the exchange increased as a result of that capitalization. In 2021, it was demutualized. So the Nigerian Stock Exchange was demutualized, becoming one of the few stock exchanges globally that are now listed on their own exchange. What this simply means is that you can trade or buy the exchange shares on its own exchange. Next slide. Now, looking at the benefit of investing in the Nigerian stock market, right? People will oftentimes ask a question, if I invest in the stock, what is my benefit? What gains are there for me? And that's why this particular program and this particular presentation is very, very important. There are many gains, there are many benefits of investing in the stock, through the stock exchange. One of which is capital appreciation, income streams, portfolio diversification, liquidity, and flexibility. Let me start with capital appreciation. What is capital appreciation? Capital appreciation simply means buying today, investing today, and then tomorrow, your capital, the money you use, that amount of money you use to buy the share today grows over time. As you stay longer in the market, the better potential for the growth. So what that simply means, you buy a stock today at 2 naira. In 2-3 years' time, or in 6 months, 1 year time, you also turning your 1 naira today to 2 naira or 3 naira. That is capital appreciation. And beyond that capital appreciation, another benefit is this income stream. So if you invest in valuable stocks, you are positioning yourself to also have a regular income, regular dividend. So companies pay dividend. That's what we call full year dividend. And there's another one we call interim dividend. So, but these dividends are paid to shareholders, those who have taken position today, those who have invested in that company today. And this ensures or helps you to ensure that you have what we call passive income. So the opportunity is there beyond the capital appreciation, beyond your money growing from 1 naira to 2 naira, going from 100 naira to 150 to 200 naira. The income, the regular dividend that the company pays also is part of it. However, the dividend is not also oftentimes captured in the capital appreciation. And that is one of the most important benefits you get in investing in stock via the stock exchange. Now, the third part is the portfolio diversification. What is portfolio diversification? In our local palace, we used to hear or tell people, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that's the simple definition of portfolio diversification. What that means is that money you want to invest today should not be invested on just a particular stock. So you can spread your risk across sectors, industries of companies listed on the stock exchange. How do you do that? You do that by picking maybe 10% in banking industry, another 10 or 20% in manufacturing, another 10 or 20% in ICT, and then the remaining also in other sectors. What this simply ensures is that if a particular sector is not doing well at a time, the ones that are doing well will cushion the effect of the ones that are not doing well. For instance, some stocks are not doing well, maybe at a time. So the 2 naira you bought it is now doing 1.50 kobo. That is a loss. But another stock that you bought 2 naira is now doing 4 naira. That is enough to cushion the effect. And that's why we are just saying that don't just invest in stock without considering portfolio diversification. The fourth part is liquidity and flexibility. What is liquidity? Liquidity simply means if I sell my stock today, how long will it take for me to get my money back? Will I wait? Should I wait forever? Is it going to take forever? Is it 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, or 4 weeks' time? Right? So it's now for us to say that in the Nigerian stock market, the settlement time has been reduced from T+3 to T+2. and before the year runs out, the exchange is most likely to introduce T+1. What that means that if you sell your stock today, you will get your money tomorrow. If you sell your stock today, you will get your money tomorrow. And that means that the exchange or investing in stock market is one of the most liquid channels where investors participate and have their money on time. Then flexibility means that now the exchange introduced a lot of facilities, the fintechs, and then this comes in the Afrinvest. The Afrinvest has made it so flexible for you to be able to participate in the Nigerian stock market through our mobile app. We have a mobile app that is user-friendly. We have a mobile app that is seamlessly when it comes to experiencing trading. For those of us that were able to join on time, you are privileged to watch one or two of the videos that explains how to get started and how to start trading via the Afrinvestor app. However, the partnership, or you want to go through this journey of investing in the stock market through Afrinvest Securities Limited, what do we provide for you? We provide market insights. We also guide you on what to buy, what to sell, what to hold. And that is what we do on daily basis and weekly basis. So on our trading platform, you have our weekly stock recommendation where we are asking you or informing you on how to guide you. This and other research and important market information that we provide to our clients and to you will help you to averagely or regularly look at your portfolio to ensure that the proper diversification you have in your portfolio is maintained and risk does not erode your portfolio value or the value of your money. So partnering and going through this journey with Afrinvest, we are well positioned to give you market insight, good research knowledge. On daily basis, we give you market report, market data, and other essential tools that will help you not just invest, but also to manage risk. Next slide. Now, beating inflation through the stock market, how true is this? Is it really true? Yes. Historically, when you look at the performance of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, specifically the NGX All Share Index, and compare that with what inflation has done in this country, the answer is yes. How? Last year, 2025, the inflation in Nigeria rose as high as 34 or 35%. And the All Share Index also, last year, 2025, closed the year 52%. Which means if you have invested at the beginning of January 2025, by December 31st, 2025, your investment would have appreciated or gained 52%, which has beaten inflation with a spread of over 15%. So if inflation has done 34% and the All-Share Index closed 52%, if you take away the inflation percentage from the All-Share Index, you have a spread or a gain of, or real return, as the case may be, of more than 10%. Now, if you also look at it this year, the inflation report this year from the NBS as of January 2026 is saying that inflation is 15.1%. Then the All-Share Index as at close of market yesterday has recorded year-to-date of 26.5%. So if you also take away 15.1% from 26.5%, you are also enjoying a spread or a profit or a gain or a real return of over 10%. That simply means that if you have invested in Nigerian stock at the beginning of this year, by now, that your value, that your investment would have increased by 26.5%. Now, dividend yield. How often, how regularly do companies pay dividend? Quality companies with stocks also pay good dividends. And if you look at the dividend yield so far in the country, historically, averages between 10 to 12% dividend yield. What that implies also beyond your capital appreciating, as I've said earlier, your dividend also is giving you additional 10 to 12% yield. Is that beneficial for you to invest in the Nigerian stock market? The answer is yes. Looking at it historically, looking at it where we are from the timing of the year, this is March. And by this time next month, our investors or investors that have invested in Nigerian stocks through the Nigerian stock market will begin to receive their dividend. Dividend will be paid to existing shareholders. Dividend will be paid for those who have taken decision to add value, to create value, to move away from savings to investment. Because with investment, you will beat inflation, most especially when you do that on the Nigerian stock, through the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And when you do that through the guidance of Afrinvest Securities Limited. So Afrinvest is well positioned to help you through this journey. Afrinvest is well positioned to guide you through this journey. We provide you essential research information, market data-driven research information that will guide your investment journey. Your capital growth will be as a result of how often you watch the market, how often you follow our instruction. So we want to encourage you, if you are here, you've not been able to partner with us, you'll be asking, how do I go about it? How do I move my savings account, my savings money in my bank account, move it down to my investment account? Let's look at it. If you have a savings account in the bank, what do you think is the rate that banks are paying? Banks, by law, pay on savings account 30% of MPR, monetary policy rate. So if monetary policy rate is 27%, you definitely know that you are getting less than 10%. But the market this year alone, just from January till yesterday, has returned 26%. My question is, does it worth investing in it historically? The answer is yes. And this is why Afrinvest thought it wise to bring this webinar to us at this time. So as I wrap up, I want to encourage you, if you have not partnered with us, if you don't trade with us, if you are confused on where to get research that will guide you in proper trading, this is the time to listen to my colleague who is going to present next. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambrose. An impressive presentation there. I mean, you did justice to all the slides. And I mean, I like the fact that when it comes to the equities market, the settlement date has been changed compared to when we used to have T+3, having investors wait a little longer before they can access their funds. And I mean, there are conversations around having to introduce even a T+1, taking it from T+2. So this is something every investor would want to experience, and you cannot experience all of this if you are not partnering with Afrinvest. I'm talking about dividend yields as a stream of income. Is something that I have a client that actually uses her dividends as a travel bonus, like she uses it to travel, right? So it's something that is worth actually doing. And lastly, I mean, you mentioned the return on ASI, which is about 26%, is very, very impressive. And I want everyone that is listening to us to take advantage of this information and key into the opportunities that you have right in front of you. Thank you very much once again, Ambrose, for that presentation. We will be going into our next discussion, which is exploring key features, the new features that we have introduced on Afrinvestor 2.0. Like you all already know, we always do this as soon as we have updates on the app, just to give you a wonderful and a seamless experience using Afrinvestor 2.0, as well as using our web version. To handle this discussion, I'll be introducing Justice Ogwikwe, who will be taking us on this ride. Please, let's ride along, pay attention, and opportunity will come for us to ask questions and get clarifications on how to explore these new features. Thank you very much. Hi, Justice.
Good afternoon, Maggie. Thank you very much for that warm introduction.
Good afternoon.
So it's my pleasure to welcome you all to this segment of our webinar, where we'll be exploring some of the key new features of the Afrinvestor web and the Afrinvestor 2.0 app. So just as Maggie had mentioned, whenever we have new updates on the app, we always, deem it right to come and show you these new updates so that you can continue to enjoy your experience on the app. So over the course of our discussion, the first and second speaker, they've very much emphasized on how Nigerians can go beyond savings and also protect their wealth while growing it in the face of inflation. And you being on the call today, you might, want to ask a very important question. Is knowing why to invest the only thing I need to know as, a participant of this meeting? The answer is no. As a participant of this meeting, you want to take action because knowing why to invest is not just enough. You also need to take action. And that brings us to a very simple but powerful idea, which is taking the first step. So now, how do you take the first step? Having heard all that have been said from the first speaker and from the second speaker, how do you now take the first step towards starting your investment journey? Well, you do this by opening a brokerage account. That is the first step you need to take when it comes to investing. You open a brokerage account. Well, as Ambrose, had initially emphasized, opening a brokerage account allows you to seize opportunities in the stock market, allows you to participate in the stock market and begin your investment journey. So this is the first step that every one of you on the call, especially those who are new to investing, needs to take because it is the first step that will turn all of your intentions into action. So let me walk you through the process of, creating an Afrinvest, a brokerage account. So first thing you need to do is you need to go on Play Store or you need to go on App Store. So you search for Afrinvestor 2.0. Once you do that, you need to download the app from the Apple Play Store or from Google Play Store. So you download the app and then you click on sign up. So as you can see displayed on your screen, you can see the arrow pointing all the way to sign up. So if you're an existing user, you already use the app, you can go ahead and click on sign in and you gain access into your account. But for new users, this demonstration is designed for new users. So as a new user, having downloaded the app, you click on sign up. And once you click on sign up, it takes you to a page where you need to provide all of the required or requested details, which would pop on the next page. So after you provide all of that details, what next do you need to do? You need to complete your KYC. So by completing your KYC, you need to provide your utility bill, you need to provide your ID card, and you also need to provide a snapshot of your signature. Once you have all of that uploaded, the next step is the creation of your CSS account. So your CSS account is created after you had completed your KYC. And what is the purpose of this, CSS account? The CSS account is where all of your investments, where if you're investing in stocks, that is where all of these investments will be domiciled. So the CSS account is very important. It's critical to your investment journey. So once that CSS account has been created, it usually takes 24 hours to be fully set up. So once that account is created, then you're all set to start your investment journey. So now let's dive into the main purpose of this session, exploring the features on the Afrinvestor 2.0 mobile app. So before these new updates came up, PIN reset was one of the most common requests we get from clients. Clients will send us email, they want to reset their PIN. And when this email comes in, we usually have to treat this instructions from the back end. And, this can sometimes cause delays because especially when clients want to make quick transaction, when clients want to make quick withdrawal, having to wait for us to treat this request from the back end can sometimes cause delay. But because here at Afrinvest, we are keen on, wanting you to continue to enjoy your experience on the app, we're keen on improving our processes. We now, and users of the app can now change their password or change their PIN directly within the app. So what this enhancement allows you to do is that it allows you to manage your account more independently. It allows you to manage your account quickly and securely without even needing additional support process. So you might be wondering, how do I do this? If, like I've said, you can now change your password, you can change your PIN from your app. So how do you now go about changing your password or PIN? Well, it's a very straightforward process. As you can see on your screen, once you open up the Afrinvestor 2.0 app, you click on the More section just down below on the very first screenshot which you have on the screen. So you click on More. When you click on More, it brings up a page that has different options available to you on the platform. So once that page comes up, you are to click on Settings. So you can see Settings is circled on your screen. So you click on Settings. Once you click on Settings, it takes you to another page where you can manage different aspects of your account. And within the account section, you can see the option to either change your password or change your PIN. So whichever one you want to do, you can go ahead and click on it, and then you follow the prompt, very easy prompt, to achieve that purpose, that is changing your password or changing your PIN. So as you can see, like I've just demonstrated, this process is very, very straightforward. Now, that's not all. I have another exciting new feature which I'd like to share with you on the Afrinvestor 2.0 app, and that is our notification bar. So now our notification bar now comes with a refreshed look and improved functionality. So what am I talking about? So you can see I have two screenshots up on the screen. So the first screenshot, once you click on the bell icon, that takes you to the notification page where you can see details relating to your transactions and trading activity. So unlike the previous notification page, now when you try to execute a mandate or whenever you make any transaction on the app, whether it's a purchase mandate, whether it's a sell mandate, once these mandates are executed, you get a notification instantly. And now, unlike the previous version, you now have a brief summary of the activity that has just been actioned. So you now have, from the brief summary, you see key details of the transaction that has just happened. You can see the quantity that was executed. You can see the execution price. And it even comes with a recommendation like the one on your screen. It says, kindly go to your portfolio to confirm your stock position. So it's indeed an upgrade, one that gives users visibility into their trading activity. And this they can see at a glance. Just by going to the notification bar, you can see your transaction, the summary of your transaction at a glance. So it helps you to even make decisions faster. It helps you to stay informed while also investing. So now I know a lot of you are familiar with the Afrinvestor 2.0 mobile app, but we're also pleased to let you know that even with the Afrinvestor web, you can now have access to the Afrinvestor web with your mobile browser. So previously, you could only do that with a desktop, but now you have access to the Afrinvestor web with your mobile browser. So you don't need to, if you want to access your account very quickly, even without downloading the app, you can go on the Afrinvestor web and enter your login details, and you have access to your account. So what this means is that it now offers investors increased flexibility. So whether you are one person that prefers to trade on a large desktop screen where you can see all the different actions that you can take on the Afrinvestor web, or you're one who just prefers to use the mobile app to trade, all of that is now possible. So the Afrinvestor web, what it does is that it provides users with a smooth and user-friendly experience. So this allows you to view market information. It allows you to monitor your portfolio and also execute trades seamlessly, whether you're using the app or you're using the Afrinvestor web browser. So the goal of the Afrinvestor web is very simple, which is to make investing easier. It is to make investing more accessible and more efficient for every user of the web. So now, what are the new features that have been added to the Afrinvestor web? So Now, users of the Afrinvestor web now have access to research data coming directly from our research team. So with this new updates, you can get information coming from our research team on trading activity for the particular day. So how do you access this information? So when you log on to the Afrinvestor web, you're welcome with this beautiful homepage, as you can see on your screen. So how do you now access the data? So on the screen, you can see a column that says dive into the data. So you click on view data. You can see view data is circled there. So you click on view data. All right, so once you click on view data, it takes you to this next page. Now, this next page is where you can see all of the information on the trading activity for that day. You can see you have access to stock prices, you have access to the most traded stock by value and volume for the day. You also can see the market sentiment for that day, how the market had performed for that day. So after every trading session, you don't have to start, looking through the internet, searching for summary of the market performance. You don't have to start digging from one PDF to another or wait for someone to send you the report. You can go on to the Afrinvestor web, log into your profile, and click on dive into the data where you have view data, and you have access to all of this information. So this keeps you more informed when you're making investment decisions. But if you should log on to the Afrinvestor web before or during market hours, of course, you're going to see the information for the previous day. So the data you'll be seeing when you click on view data wouldn't be the present or the most recent information. You'll be seeing the information for the previous day. But just after market close, you can come back to the Afrinvestor web and log back in and click on view data, and you see all of the information for that present day and how the market has performed for that present day. So if you're new to investing, if you're new to trading, whatever it is, all things investing, we wouldn't want you to be here on the call and not have information. So if you're new to investing, you want to know how to trade, you want to know how to place mandates and get these mandates executed, please reach out to us. We have a ton of videos on our YouTube channel, which we can share with you to help guide you on investing, step-by-step processes which you need to take to start investing. And if you're one who uses the Afrinvestor web and you want to know how to better navigate the Afrinvestor web, we encourage you to please reach out to us. We've done a couple of webinars on the Afrinvestor web, showing you all of the features of the Afrinvestor web. And rest assured, as new features continue to come up, we would continue to update you. So you are also enjoy your experience while using either the Afrinvestor 2.0 or the Afrinvestor web. So these are the few features which I can share with you for today. Hopefully more would come up and we will be more than happy to share with you. So do not forget, please reach out to us if you need all of this, the link to the necessary videos, and we'll be more than happy to share with you. So now I'll be handing over to Margaret. Margaret, please, you can continue the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that warm presentation. And I mean, it was a very, very smooth ride trying to navigate all the new features that we have on Afrinvestor 2.0 app, and as well as our web version. Thank you very much. And to access our web version, all you just need to do is to key in www.afrinvest.com, and it will take you straight to our webpage where you can log in and also have this experience. Thank you very much. And he has also mentioned we are not going to be holding any information. As soon as we have information on how to make experience better for our users, we will always bring it here. At this point in time, we'll be going into the question and answer sessions. I can see that. Please, if you have any question, you can indicate by a lift of hand, and we will give you the opportunity to speak. While we also browse through our chat session, let's see the questions that we have on our chat box. First, Felicia Udeji is asking, how do we reach out for the necessary videos? We have all our videos on our YouTube channels. You can go to our YouTube channel and you'll see all the videos on everything that you need regarding trading on Afrinvestor 2.0. I also have a question from Stephen saying, as a Nigerian in the diaspora without a functional Nigerian number, can I use my overseas address and phone number to sign up on the Afrinvest trading app? So unfortunately for now, the Afrinvestor 2.0 app only allows you to sign up with a Nigerian number. So this is what we are also still working on. And the reason is because CSCS only accepts Nigerian number to enable them create a CSCS account for you. Once there's an improvement on this, we will keep our customers in diaspora informed so that they can proceed. But if you want to take advantage of other fixed income instruments that we offer, you can also pay into that. I also have a question here that says, sorry, 1 minute. I have 2 different stockbrokers. I'm using my CSCS number. Will there be a difference? My CHN number, will it be the same or different? Okay, so if I understand this question correctly, if you have a stockbroking account with another broker and you want to maintain your CHN, you can provide us with that CHN and inform us ahead of time so that when creating a CSCS account for you, we can maintain it. But what our app actually does is that the app creates the account almost immediately. So the opportunity of also maintaining a CHN is slim. So if you're interested in maintaining a CHN, you can always reach out to us and we'll try to inform CSCS ahead of time. But in recent time, we have noticed that this feature doesn't work with CSCS. So, but can you just reach out to us at brokerage@afrinvest.com and we will give you more insight on that. Please, if there are questions, we indicate by lift of hands and we'll give you the opportunity to speak.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you, madam.
Okay, my name is Patricia. I have 2 questions, or I'll put it together as one. I bought a Julius Berger shares on the 10th of February. Until now, it's still showing executing on my mobile app. Same with Presco. I bought Presco shares that same day. Till now, it's showing executing. All other shares have all gone. And I'm wondering why it's still on pending, like executing, while the rest have been executed and they are fine. So I want to know the reason why, because I intend buying more shares, but I don't know why I'm still seeing executing on my app for these 2 shares, Julius Berger and Presco. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Patricia. Bruce, please, I would like to give you the opportunity to answer this question.
Okay, thank you, Patricia, for this question. If I understand you very well, in your app, it's still showing executing, right? For the 2
Yes,
stocks?
please.
Okay,
Yes.
great. And the money for this execution or for this trade is deducted from your wallet, right?
Of course.
Okay, great. So one of the things that could cause it is personally I've experienced that, maybe you are trying to buy at a price way lower than the market price. So once you submit it, the app will accept that. And if you are not conscious of the error message, will not be able to go and then cancel it. But what I think you should do is if you log into the app, you will see your trade history. From the trade history, you should be able to cancel those trades. Once you cancel them, as long as they are not executed, your cash balance will revert to normal. I'm also thinking that you did not get contract note for that, which means it has not been executed. So try to log into your app and then go through your trade history. And once you're able to cancel that, fine. But if you are not able, please send a mail and particularly address it to me. Just mention my name there. And possibly we'll also appreciate if you can put your number so we can discuss that. And then I will also run you through how to navigate such situation next time. Thank you.
Okay, but I have an exception. In these shares that I bought, I did not buy on limit order. I actually bought at the actual price, but I reduced my shares because I couldn't buy the amount I wanted to, at the number of shares I wanted to. I didn't buy at limit order.
Okay, fine. So what will happen is just send us a mail, okay, so that we can take other questions, because again, maybe at the time you are buying, those stocks are fully on bid. So if they are on bid, they are most likely that by the time they start supplying, they're supplying higher than the price, and then you'll still be showing executed. However, I will appreciate to send us a mail. Just mention my name, Ambrose, on that
Who am
mail.
I
I'll take
sending
it
the mail to?
brokerage team at Afrinvest.com.
Okay.
Brokerage team at Afrinvest.com. Just in the body of the mail, mention Ambrose and drop your contact number so I can reach out to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So much for that question. We also have a question from the chat box that says, what makes a stock liquid? So, Kudi, can you answer that? Then we'll give another opportunity for someone to ask a question.
Okay. Thank you, Margaret. That is a very good question, because liquidity is one of the most important characteristics investors consider when evaluating any stock. A stock is considered liquid when it can be bought or sold quickly in the market without significantly affecting its price. And usually, in practice, liquidity is driven by the level of trading activity in that stock. When a stock has a large number of buyers and sellers participating in market transactions, can occur easily and efficiently. There are also several factors that typically make a stock liquid. The first is the trading volume. When stocks are traded frequently, they tend to have a higher liquidity because there are always participants willing to transact. Secondly, the size and prominence of the company. Large, well-known companies often attract institutional investors, asset managers, and also retail investors, which increase market participation. And lastly, we look at the market depth, right? It refers to the number of buy and sell orders, available in the market at different prices. And maybe, for example, companies such as MTN, Dangote Cement, and GTCO, they tend to have more liquidity because they attract significant investors and trade regularly on the NGX. So ultimately, liquidity is about ease of entry and exit. The more participants, right, they make such stocks active, and they make it liquid, and it's easier for investors to buy or sell that stock, without causing major price movements. So liquidity, in a nutshell, is what makes a market efficient, right? Because it ensures investors can convert their investment into cash quickly when necessary. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ajomo, for that response. And I'm sure that all our listeners have learned one or two things for this question. And we'll be giving Abubakar a chance to ask his question. Hi, Mr. Abubakar. Please, can you unmute and ask your question? If Abubakar is not available, we can have Godfrey to speak to us. Please, all questions should not be more than 5 to 10 seconds, just to manage time. Thank you very much. Hi, Godfrey.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate what's happening in the stock industry so far. Yeah, one of my question is, knowing that we spend money every minute, what's the best path you think people can guide us on making this money every day as well? And secondly, if a company is declaring dividends, let's say tomorrow, and I happen to buy the shares today, is it possible for me to be part of that dividend as well? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you take your question again? Because I was actually struggling to hear you. But let me confirm from Ambrose. Ambrose, did you get the question clearly?
Yes, I think I got his question.
Okay.
Let me start from the second question. He spoke about, or he asked about dividend. Okay, so if company declares a dividend, right? First is that in the what we call corporate action. So the company will send out a news to investors or shareholders, detailing what the dividend is all about. And then in that information, you have qualification date, which is the most important thing. So company can declare dividend today, and qualification date is in July, and they are paying in September. So what that simply means is that, yes, the news of the dividend is out today. However, if you don't hold that stock till a certain date in July, you will receive the payment in September. So once you hear any dividend declaration and you are okay with the amount that has been declared and you want to enjoy or be part of the investors that will get that dividend, the next important information to look out for is qualification date. So look out for the qualification date. So if the company said qualification date is at 15th of March, which means those that are on the register of that company as at 15th of March will be paid or will receive that dividend. So what do I mean further? If 15th of March is qualification date and today is 15th, if I sell my shares today, I will receive that dividend. But for those that bought from me today, will receive the dividend on the payment date. So the important information on any corporate action document that company releases is 1, the amount of the dividend, 2, the qualification date, 3, the payment date, 4, the registrar that pays. It's not stockbroking firm that pays, the registrar of the company that are in charge of payment of dividend. So this is the one I got. The other question, I didn't get it.
Yeah, the other question is, I said, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I said, knowing that you spend money almost every hour or every day, what could be the best path that Afrinvest can guide the partners on how to make the money every day?
Okay, thank you for this question. Right? So oftentimes people misunderstand how the capital market functions. Usually, the capital market is not really a short-term investment instrument. So you don't invest today and expect to make money tomorrow. Yes. And that's most of the challenges we have in the industry, where people will come and tell you, please, which one will I buy today and sell tomorrow? Which one will I buy today and sell today? So the way capital market functions, like in my presentation, I mentioned capital appreciation, and that has to do with time. The longer you wait, the better for you. However, there are instances where you can buy a stock today and tomorrow and next it closes higher. But again, market fluctuates, so you can gain 3 days straight and then lose 4 days straight. But for those that wait for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, they are better off and they are well rewarded, and their investment or their capital appreciates over time. So if that is the strategy, usually I will advise people, one of the things you to understand is that understand how the capital market operates, and then be an active manager. Manage your investment, know the information, because for us as a firm, our own is to do a due diligence to release important information and news that will encourage you. Take for instance, something is happening in a company today, and we release the news, and you come across today, and you take action tomorrow. That action you took tomorrow will benefit you in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month time, as against one who will come across of that information 2 weeks after market was have priced that information into that particular firm. So that is how the market works. So the market is not structured such that you will go in today and go out tomorrow and make money. But that does not mean you are an active trader or investment manager and you see such opportunity, you want to be part of it, you can leverage on that. But that is not the structure of market. Thank you.
And in addition, rather than thinking about making money every day from the market, a more effective approach is to focus on building a portfolio of quality companies, that can grow your wealth steadily over time. What I mostly advise investors is, what I call timing the market, right? Not timing the market, right? Investing, the real power lies not in daily profits, but in compounding returns over time. And the stock market rewards patience and discipline far more than short-term speculation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our listeners. Thank you to all our attendees. It was a very, very wonderful experience. Unfortunately, we may not be able to go further by taking more questions, but we will appreciate that you send us all your questions to our brokerage email, brokerage@afrinvest.com, as well as customer service@afrinvest.com. This is our official email communication lines. So please, sorry about the short timing, because we have to go now. Thank you very much. We appreciate your commitment. We appreciate you for attending this webinar, and thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for staying with Afrinvest. Until next quarter, we'll be seeing you again. Thank you very much, and do have a nice day.